天要转身，
花个3万再来吧。
嗯，
没事。
神经病。
你是啊，
我知道你是啊。
你最花钱了。
嗯，没有啊，我天堂我没花钱啊。
哦，
天堂要花什么钱
？3万啊。
没有3万啊。
扫地机器人卖掉。
被我妈打死了。唉，扫地机器人的。
对啊。
真的吧，卖不了什么钱的，没有把才花不到1万。
啊？买不到1万？
对啊。
那剩下2万可以赞助啊。
剩下的1万是我妈的。
什么？
嗯。
啊。
还有1万是我这个月要交，是我上个月的生活费。
什么？你薪水？
我上个月做很少
对啊，休很多。
我休了半个月。
有吗？
一会啊，你不知道吗？
啊？
我休了半个月啊。
我没注意。
捏小可 said
去上班可是只有做半天的。
去什么啊？
我说有些是去上班，只有做半天，所以前后扣一扣，我只有15天的班，15天的工钱而已。这个月比较多。
下了课。应该不会很闷吧？这游戏。你要加入？
加入。
老百姓。
Holmes。
加入老百姓就可以就会接到直播的通知啊。
Holmes, will you stop that？
等一下，我听不到要让你的声音。等一下呀。
You are utterly mad。
还是听不到啦，等一下啦。那个谁，娜娜。
Stop, Holmes。
娜娜声音如何啊？你再说一次，你说什么？你讲啥？你讲啥？啊？你讲什么呢？你刚才讲什么？
我说我可以不要吗？
可以啊。我只是问你有没有需要。
应该是不用啊。
那就不用了。
我又比较少看。
哎呀。
多了。
看一下还有谁有？哈鲁也有，地狱也有，应该够了。再来。下了课。
Is that you, Watson? Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate.
Is that you? Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey.
靠背怎么
Born in
回？
1845 and 50. Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector.
哪来的回？
Please tell us more preferable now. Do please tell
我靠背啊，我手机啊，你娘嘞！
Peter Carey.
我说怎么会有回音？
狗秀喵！
哎呀，吓我一跳嘞！
咩小可 said 点点点。
点什么点？
咩小可 said 是在干嘛？
啊，手机咩？因为它是全萤幕的啊，我看留言的话要用手机看啊，就是没有2个萤幕的坏处。
years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia.
会啊，看直播
Retired in
怎么上
1884
来
with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
去上厕所，靠腰。尿尿，要不要帮我吹口哨啊？尿尿，游戏尿尿。
银雪 said 尿尿。银雪 said WC。
干吹口哨的哨是哪个哨？少。
银雪 said 要不要帮我吹口哨3？
阿周就没来啊。
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
调查比特凯瑞的凶杀案。哦。彼得凯瑞，哇，这跟空长得好像，秃头啊。我们要换什么衣服嘞？选手服。穿点搞笑的嘛，但怎么都那么的好看啊！搞笑一点，搞笑一点的。福尔摩斯通常都是要有点胡子的吧？好小。有没有韩国语？很像韩国语。我选择变装很有可能不适合当前。自动，更正式一点就对了。绿色绿蜥龟啊！看，我难道不能？我不能秃头去？啊，算了。看好我不能秃头去查案吗
This is where I keep my po.
我就不能秃头去查案。
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
对不起啊，刚才不
A
想。
map of London and the surrounding area. It
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
啊，你工作？
打开事件簿。
啊？哦，你在看我玩啊？哦，
反正看不懂，给点猛狂。
没办法，你的头脑就是
在靠腰你，你又想欠人？
靠呀你啊！我想到底要把你声音调大还是调小？
调小啊！
啊，不然你讲什么我听不到啊！
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
庭院表示的。找一些线索，然后去问那个问罪嘛。
Mr. Holmes?
画质不错哎。还好。迟到。亚某啊。
Mr. Holmes? It seems that the garden was well maintained. It seems that the garden was well maintained. It seems that the garden was well maintained.
不用打字的啊，Google 自己会帮你讲话。啊，来一点。
送啦！
今天不是要打张小唐？
啊？
不是要去打张小唐？
我累了。
干！
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
昨天有啊，只是你都待在我这边啊。
Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
有点中暑的感觉。
什么？
已经有点中暑的。
中什么？中邪啊！
中暑了。
中暑哦。去礼服店啊。马姐。偷看胸。屌。妈你的胸部跟那比你啊！男主角套。对。不寻常的事。
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock. I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually, whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. We lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
You have indeed suffered a great...
Yeah.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
Mr. Holmes?
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
Mr. Holmes?
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see. These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool. What a terrible way to die. Harpoons for hunting whales. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. Hammerfest. Dundee. It's a whaling map. The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches. The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded. Someone drank from this glass recently. The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture. Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors. Rum, a sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
聂小可 said， 这个好像不错，像在看名侦探柯南。
对啊，就查案啊，就查案。
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense. This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed. JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook. The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey. These abbreviations mean something, but what? Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon. This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting.
Mr. Holmes?
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us. Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Thank you, madam. These boots don't match the footprints. These footprints appear to be quite large.
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window. We need to find a good place.
Mr. Holmes?
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Mr. Holmes?
These footprints appear to be quite large. This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Did you hear that? There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there. Mr. Holmes, come and see what we've caught in our net. All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? Then what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough! You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector, but please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
我怎么变第一人称啊？第三人称啊！哦。
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help
Mr.
you?
Holmes?
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
Thank you.
捏小可 said 等于
干嘛
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes?
These are the suspect's belongings. A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin. A handkerchief with the initials JHN. And partner, 1883.
捏小可 said 你那边有没有多的黑色翅膀面具便宜卖我一个
没有啦，我怎么会有
From R. Dawson. Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer. These are the suspect's belongings. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor. These abbreviations mean something.
灭小可 said， 不然你之前心灵跟刀锋装啥？连家茂 said， 早安扛回家。
装啥？装黑色天使翅膀装啥？
These are the suspect's belongings. These abbreviations. These are the suspect's belongings.
Hi, Lulu. 赵生送给我加好友1918383先去问吧，那个字。
灭小可 said， 啊，你不是换了怎没多？
靠腰啊，不用练功吗？ 你当以后都不会开啊？那你都觉得说啊，我都可以这样子啊，就卖你一个啦，我这样子一直交换用就好了。那你自己都嫌麻烦了，你干嘛都只交换用就好了？卖你还要卖便宜，写在是啊，就有要用啊，怎么可能没有要用？
你有在练吗？等于。
那就还没开转，要怎么练？就是你当都不会再开转了吗？9月份要开转啊，谁？ 警长
locked，
警长房当不肯让你去啊。让
Mr. Holmes，
会买当然就是不想一直换来换去啊。
Does this notebook belong to you?
交易也烦啊，不然你干嘛要买？
But where did you find it? I did not know. I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh no! I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
没有偷东西，它一直属于我的。
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner.
脖子，对啊，穿蛮好的。我受伤。
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go! I'm innocent! What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Mr. Holmes?
These are the suspect's belongings. These abbreviations mean something, but what?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes?
That is not the one I need. 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 That is not that is Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes. Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance. These are the suspect's belongings. These abbreviations. "1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. This is the crew list of the Sea Log Note. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for August. These pages have been...
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong. What am I doing here? I've done
These are the suspect's belongings. I wonder if these are connected. Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping to find inside Peter Carey's cabin?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I correct?
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belonged to my family, but I could not find them there.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
咩小可 said， 我在想要不要去上班。
上班？你不是没在上班
？Locked.
上什么班？哎呀，哇贵啊！哇，上班然后再上。为什么假期老是过得那么快呀？那假期居然给我US 3.0 USD 3.0 USB 3.0，为什么坏呀？
咩小可 said。我是说去找工作上班，别去帮忙。
为什么？你老公不是？
咩小可 said， 因为你一直睡觉。
什么？我一直睡觉是因为都熬夜。熬夜，然后白天就睡觉，那你白天就再研究一下胃镜和训练。
I need to stage a reconstruction. I'm sure that Watson will be happy to oblige.
你还不是一样？
咩小可 said， 你昨天又打篮球到几点？
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they are still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him. A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible. But if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Well, thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely. I need to take a... That should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test. Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
咩小可 said， 刚怎有苍蝇飞过去的声音？
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
力量需求被钉在墙上，力量强大。有可能是极小可能性，就是一个运气好。我刚才就是运气好。哪里更有罪？我们要让他有罪还是无罪？让哪里更 ？Peter， 他说当时没有在杀人前说话。真相，而一切都是他做出这可怜的决定。靠腰，干，断线，这也会断线。 哪招？它应该是自动。事情并没有证明说他就是。
Watson, I need Wiggins. Is he anywhere nearby?
He's right across the street. You can...
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, as his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always. What happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes. He refuses to speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking. These are the suspect's belongings. Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a size 9.5. The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals. A pen. Nothing unusual about it.
当个侦探真累啊，跑来跑去，跑来跑去。对。
These boots match the footprints exactly.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent. No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent. No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
said 蓝蓝绿或是蓝绿蓝或是蓝白绿蓝白蓝。
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be at... Done. Now I can proceed further.
果然聪明啊。
Let us see if the content of this letter sheds a little light upon... I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this? Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely. And considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you, but you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see. Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
Never mind. So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
I did as you asked and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one, but it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley. Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads, but now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Thank you, madam. Let's see what could be hidden here. Let us see what is in this box. bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram. Hurtley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting. Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
What are you talking about?
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
What are you talking about?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see. This is interesting. Let us review the other sailors now. This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch. Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick Cairns.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress as a sailor. Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch. Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling on arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
灭小可 said， 你要直播到几点？
啊，玩玩吧。
That's the arm that killed 100 whales.
把这个事件破了再说。
10 shillings.
把这个案件破了再说。该快结束了啦。挖土，哦，没湿啊。
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that.
跟帕金公面部表情来判断他现在就是推挡空隙。
灭小可 said， 地址符波浪符。
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that.
咩小可 said， 干嘛一直重复？
干，是男人，是男人怎么可能要？是男人当然不能输啊！男人只能输。哎！输啊！只能说输呢。
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
I've had enough. You're too strong.
Come back later when you can use your arms again.
啊？到底要演几次啊
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that. Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, I find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I've sailed. I've seen everything. With Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger, we sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar, and violent too. Swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant, and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she'd foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
I don't know. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. Those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of course. Back in a second. I'm off to the Ghazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
Here it is. Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
靠背啊，这啥小啊？会断线呢。对。
咩小可 said 地址符一直断线。
懒啊。其实我讲真的，3个都有可能，但是小孩子应该没有那种。
Care to lose another 10 shillings?
都是觉得3个都有。这也太……
咩小可 said 我觉得跟他老婆有一腿的人犯罪。
不一爱情。但是运气好吗？那为什么不让我选这个啊？哦，烟袋证明有罪。运气好。我觉得小孩子也是有可能的，因为他或许找到他或许知道他爸爸被他。我简单说一下这个游戏哦。这游戏不管你判谁罪，他就是。
How is the investigation going, Mr. Holmes? Do you have any idea who the murderer is yet?
这游戏哈，就是你不管判谁罪哦，他就是以那个结局就去走了。他不会说，哎，你今天判 A， 他不会觉得说你今天说谁是有罪，他就跟你说啊，你判断错误之类的，他不会这样。他就是说。你选谁是凶手，他就是凶手，就是以你来做，然后以你来做那个，以你的方式去判别人，那你也可以判他有罪跟。
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
就自己去判别说啊，你要让他有罪还是无罪？那我们福尔摩斯的态度就是跟柯南一样，你今天杀了人，你就是有罪啊，没有什么心软不心软啊。太嚣张了！我想知道证明他在现场，他有在现场。他有在现场，所以他们俩他可以雇佣他，可是他要怎么雇佣他？太不合理了。回家一趟。哎，我秃头呢？
捏小可 said， 是我不懂。
This is where I keep my post. My archive. I can.
捏小可 said， 号打错还给我发送。
什么东西？靠打错。
捏小可 said， 我觉得他们父子一起犯罪的。
父子啊，爸爸就是啊，你写嘞？爸爸死掉了、啊，你没有注意看啊？没有注意看是不是？这已经写了、啊，彼得·凯瑞试图隐瞒杀害 John Nelly 的父亲的事实，等于说他杀了他爸爸、啊。 讲述在1888年 ，Peter Carey 推下了海。一个将一个男人推下海的故事。那个男人在前一天被救上了，没死。很显然那个人，哦。 啊！
咩小可 said， 或是他跟另一个人一起犯案。
1888月 ，Peter Carey 将一个男生推下海的。那个男人在前一天被救上船了。很显然，那个男人叫。 对他爸爸，没错，是他爸爸。可是所以他爸爸没死。他失去了父亲。哦耶，他爸没死啊，这里啊。不对。 你觉得这两个人很像吗？说不定他是要报复。他说他爸爸没死啊。被推下海的故事，那个男人在前一天啊，是死了啦，掉了。刚救上了男人，然后下一个晚上就把他推下来，他小。哇！ 这要判谁罪啊
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
干！爸爸嘞！你看，你要看也看好看一点的啊。
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
哦，我不知道呢，因为他没有所谓的真正的剧情啊，他就是以你去选择，就像我刚刚说的，他就是你选择这个故事线，它会有延续。
My archive. I can all.
你记得。 要么是为了外遇被杀，他就说我为了要跟着女主人在一起杀了她，那也有可能是报复啊。但是小孩怎么可能报复的？小孩不太可能啊。小孩会雇佣刚才那个男的水手，感觉就不太像啊。
This window is locked from the inside. I do not see any attempt at a break-in.
觉得小孩是不太可能，拿得了一个鱼叉。
Leave me alone, please.
看你就不骚你。不然怎么办？不太会让小孩子去扛这罪。然后那个谁，那个酒馆那个，他也没有杀人动机啊，他完全没有杀人动机啊。然后这个鞋子，这鞋子只能说，因为它是园丁嘛，所以他那边抖动也很正常啊。来吧，投票吧。也只剩下娜娜在了吧？还是谁也在？你们觉得要让谁去坐牢呢？基本上我的感觉就是杀人不偿命，杀人就一定要伏法，我不可能原谅他，我不可能说啊，今天你可怜就放过你一次，杀人偿命啊！不管今天那个死掉的人，他是多么可恶的人。杀人就是要坐牢啊！来吧，你们觉得呢？基本上小孩子不太可能，就算他想找爸爸报仇，但是他想帮爸爸报仇，他应该只是想要拿债券，然后拿去卖，因为那债券本来就是属于他的。对，而他应该是不知道。
叶小可 said：“ 我投他吗？”
我先理解一下哦，小孩子应该是不可能，他只是来盗取债券，因为债券是他们爸爸的东西，他现在被，就是他现在被就是他需要钱呐。所以他没有杀男主人的理由，因为他也不知道他爸爸是被那个人杀的，那这个就更不可能了，他就更不可能了。我讲真的，他就更不可能。哎，怎么没有那个？
咩小可 said：“ 那个男主他老婆啦。”
知道啦，我先理清一下嘛。
咩小可 said：“ 一脸骗小骗鼻样。”
哎，为什么这个出不来了？诶，连接到一起了。共谋，那里跟很多人都在讲话，他们有可能都会认同啊。哦，两个一起了耶，有没有可能三个一起？运气好。 然共盟好了，我们一起送他死。
灭小可 said， 看吧看吧，听了我就说可能是他跟别人
共同杀害 Carrie， 因为这个不太可能嘛，他又没有，他们两个也没什么关系啊。这两个是绝对有杀那个死掉的人动机，但那个酒馆那个他完全没有杀他的动机啊。烟袋也不能代表什么啊，烟袋说不定就是两个都在哈吵啊，有可能有交流之类的吧。对，这个是不可能的。那两个也有可能嘛。好啦，我就选两个人吧。那里根是主谋，谁是主谋？我还要选谁是主谋？John Bubs， 那里根 ，Peter Carey， 那里根动机是复仇。
灭小可 said， 钱啦。
什么钱啊？
灭小可 said， 可能他去酒馆有跟那个人串谋。
有串谋。这是最不可能的啊！你看，你杀手他的烟袋掉落在案发现场，这样就要杀一个人，这不可怜啊！这不可怜的代志。已经证实烟袋是他，这就是他当时的。不过这不能对啊，不能证明啊，这绝对不能证明啊！所以我们就决定两个都受死吧，我们去死一死吧。不顾爱情，死一死吧，各位。至于要共盟的话，我觉得应该就是赫特里啦。你们
灭小可 said， 你怎知道某孔林？
什么某孔林？讲啥啊？不是某可能。是他的嫌疑是最小的，这两个嫌疑是最大的。那个令来的根，我不管了，我让他死吧。
灭小可 said， 我觉得 A。
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
There are two culprits, Inspector, Nelligan and Hurtley.
What? Well, I would never have guessed, Mr. Holmes. They are a rotten pair, though.
It was a combination of two motives, culminating in one crime.
What were their motives?
The first was revenge. Black Peter possessed the bond certificates that had belonged to Nelligan's father, and young Nelligan wished to retrieve them.
And the second?
The second was a crime of passion. Liam Hurtley was in love with Black Peter's wife, and this caused a conflict between him and Carrie.
Well, well, well. Makes sense, Mr. Holmes.
I suggest that you organize a small confrontation between the two, just to confirm my accusations.
That's a good idea, Mr. Holmes. I'll talk to these fellows. Join me in the interrogation room. Gentlemen, we know everything about your association to kill Black Peter. Admit that you planned it together.
Our association? I don't even know this man.
You needed to kill Peter Carey. There had to be two of you there.
Ridiculous. I'm innocent.
All that remains is to determine the level of guilt. Which one of you is the initiator in this case?
But I just told you I've never seen this man before.
It's him. He's the culprit. He was forcing me. He threatened me. He's the mastermind behind it all.
Shut up. You're a lunatic.
Well, it all seems very clear, don't you think, Mr. Holmes?
Both are guilty, of course, but I believe that Hurtley was the initiator of the crime.
It's ridiculous. Why would I need the help of this weakling?
You wanted to be rid of the man who was terrorizing his wife, and who prevented the two of you from being together. Young Nelligan was just following his lead.
You are wrong. I have nothing whatsoever to do with this.
You'll explain that to the judge.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
The case is solved. He was in love. Liam Hurtley, you are formally accused of the murder of Peter Carey. We are aware that you were in love with Carey's wife. He was a violent and irascible man. He needed to be eliminated. You had no qualms.
But that's absurd. I'm innocent.
Well, we caught you, lad.
The case is resolved.
Very well. If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Holmes, could you explain it to me?
As I informed you on our way here, Patrick Cairns is the murderer of Black Peter.
Why bring me here? Wouldn't it be better if we were out looking for him?
That would be futile, as he will be with us in approximately 12 seconds.
Oh, well, if this is your idea of humour...
No, I just heard the front door. Prepare yourself.
Good day, gentlemen. A young lad gave me a note from Captain Ahab. Am I at the right address? Is he here?
Indeed, it is the correct address. But in place of your captain, may I present to you Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard?
That means...
It means, my friend, that you are arrested for the murder of Black Peter.
What? What? A trap? You think you can take me?
Here now. We'll have none of that.
And I say that we will.
哦，还被你说中了。
Lestrade, are you all right? Are you able to stand?
Oh, my jaw. Gore. He took me by surprise, Mr. Holmes. Otherwise, he would have seen what I'm capable of. Oh.
Yes, he was lucky.
But you got him.
It was remarkably easy. He lost his balance after he struck you.
And you practice boxing, I know. You must have hit him hard. Our fellow is knocked out.
We should call for a police cab and then take you to the hospital.
Yes, well, no need for a hospital. I would prefer to keep this between us. You know.
Of course, Inspector. The case is closed.
帕特里克·凯恩斯杀了别人，只有他才能跟这个。对啊，对，哎，这样对耶，因为他是鱼叉手嘛。此外，他的烟袋还留在案发现场。哎，对，哎，对，他是一个冷血杀人犯。啊，对。
捏小可 said, elbow cuff.
Fuck， 这个才是真正的。道德怎么可能会有人道德啊？对，说明他是个杀人犯，可能他也是要偷债券之类的。
This trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes. As your friend and your doctor, I really do recommend that you give yourself a complete change of scene. Fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable. I mean, certainly it sounds delightful.
But you haven't yet told me who your friend is, the one we're going to visit.
He is a bee lover.
A bee lover? Do you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
捏小可 said, 就为了钱。
是啊。
Mycroft. Sherlock.
捏小可 said, 你还要继续播哦。
没有啊，没有要关了。这就是这算是第二篇的吧？那第一篇就结束啦。那你非要在？为什么？哦。 他有那个鱼尾纹呢，代表他到几岁呢？啊，不讲了，今天到这边吧，明天再继续啦。应该还可以吧？应该还可以吧？你觉得这篇这个？
聂小可 said, "You got this."
你觉得可以吗？这篇应该还可以吧？有吸引到你吗？不过，反正不管怎样，不管有没有吸引，但我还是会把它玩完啊。谈这个不会太长吧？顶多。
聂小可 said, 可以呀。
好了，今天玩到这吧，明天再播啦。明天就是玩第2个事件啦。好，完了，我要去打球了。我的每日还没打完。